One's our number. Got a couple lines open for you. I've been getting a bunch of letters about fibromyalgia for some reason. Jess writes, my mother's been suffering from fibromyalgia for several years now. I've tried several treatments, and she's become dependent on pain medicine. Are there any shows that cover, in the archive that cover fibro, or do you have any advice? I do not think she'll call the show. She says she's been suffering for so many years, and I just want her to be off the horrible pain meds they have her hooked on. This is so tragic, and I get these letters all the time. People just don't know what to do. Fibromyalgia, folks, is a sign of generalized toxicity in the body. All right? It means the body is accumulating poisons. The muscles are constantly moving. Muscle cells are constantly working. So if you're not dumping poisons out or draining poisons out of the body away from cells, they'll tend to accumulate, and the muscles are one of the main places they'll accumulate. So listen up, folks. Fibromyalgia is the accumulation of poisons in the muscles. Period. End of story. I don't know how much clearer I can be with this. If your doctor doesn't tell you this, you got a dumb doctor. Fibromyalgia means fiber, muscle, pain. Fibro for fiber, myo for muscle, algia for pain. Fiber, muscle, pain. This pain is caused by the accumulation of poisons in the nerve muscle area. And there's only one way to alleviate it. Well, actually, even better. When you have fibromyalgia, realize that your body's accumulating poisons that are shortening your life and increasing your risks for all kinds of horrible diseases. Fibromyalgia usually occurs in women, and that's because of the clear association between the hormone estrogen and pain in and accumulation of poisons. Estrogen is a stress hormone. It's a hormone that mediates the stress response, and over time, as the stress response increases, the cells of the body will have a hard time draining poisons away. So fibromyalgia needs to be regarded as a sign that the body is under extreme duress. And where does that extreme duress come from? 9 times out of 10, at least, where does it start to come from? The digestive system. So for anybody dealing with fibromyalgia, focus on digestive health. Focus on digestive health. Just probiotics can make a huge difference for a fibromyalgia patient. The mineral magnesium can be very important for fibromyalgia patients. There's something called malic acid that some people use to help with fibromyalgia. Look for food intolerances, food allergies. Connect your fibromyalgia up to digestive symptoms. I will guarantee you that if you go on a fast for 3 days, if you can do it, for 3 days, you will start to notice improvements in your fibromyalgia pain. It will not take long. If you're on a pain medicine, guess what those do? They shut down your digestive system. Pain medicines may fake your brain out into thinking you don't feel any pain, but they're going to exacerbate digestive problems. It's one of the classic effects of hydrocodone, Vicodin, and OxyContin, and oxycodone, and all the typical opiate pain medications. The classic toxicity, a side effect, is digestive shutdown. As anybody will tell you who's been on pain meds for a long time, constipation is the most likely side effect. So pain meds are not going to help you, folks. And plus, you got to deal with getting hooked on these things then. If you have fibromyalgia, number 1, get yourself on the nightly essence today. Get yourself on the Z-Radical today. Get yourself on the ultimate enzymes today. Use apple cider vinegar. Get a food diary. Start to eliminate foods. Use caloric restriction. Eat less. Practice intermittent fasting. These are all wonderful strategies. Focus on fat absorption. Focus on gallbladder health. Get yourself on lecithin as a supplement. Grind up your foods, especially fatty foods. Use vegetable juices. Use bone soup. These are all for fibromyalgia people. These are all wonderful ways to treat yourself for fibromyalgia, to reverse fibromyalgia without doctors, without drugs, without insurance companies, without getting hooked on pain pills. All right, so step number 1, Jess, anybody out there with fibromyalgia, probiotic supplement. Step number 2, elimination diet. Look for foods that cause digestive issues, digestive problems, especially constipation. But even loose stools, cramping, or bloating, any foods that cause digestive issues, eliminate those foods. Of course, dairy and grains are the 2 most likely suspects, but it can be anything. It can be anything. It could be spinach. It could be tomatoes. It could be potatoes. It could be peppers. It could be anything. And then focus on fat absorption. Use digestive enzymes. Use lecithin. Use apple cider vinegar. Get on the essential fatty acids. By all means, get on those EFAs. Everybody needs them, but especially if you're dealing with muscle issues like fibromyalgia. All right. Thank you, Jess, for writing, and thank you, everybody, for writing. Appreciate all your calls and all your letters. Adam in Ohio, welcome to the bright side. What's going on?
Hey, Ben. I'm trying to dig up information for two individuals, one with fibromyalgia and one with lupus.
Okay.
Do you need to know any other?
Easy. Let me tell you about fibromyalgia first. Did you have something else you want to say? I'm sorry, Adam.
I just needed to know if you needed any other information than that.
They're super easy. Fibromyalgia is just a fancy way of saying pain in the muscles, pain in the muscle fibers. Muscle, algia, pain in the muscle fibers. Fibromyalgia is nothing more than the symptoms of toxicity, toxins, poisons that are building up in muscles. When the body's having a hard time processing something, poisons will start to accumulate in the fluids, the blood and the lymph, and as those poisons accumulate, they'll start to get dumped into various tissues of the body. One of the most common tissues that these poisons will get dumped in is muscle tissue. And fibromyalgia is the pain that appears in the body subsequent to the dumping out of toxins in the muscles. So what do you do for fibromyalgia? Well, number one, you got to eliminate the flow of toxicity that's getting into the body. Of course, that means foods. Change the way you eat. Number two, support the digestive system. That means probiotics. That means glutamine powder, perhaps zinc. I haven't talked about zinc carnosine too much, but there's a really neat form of zinc carnosine, and that's C-A-R-N-O-S, as in Sam, I-N-E, that can be helpful for digestive problems. Anything you can do to support the digestive system is going to improve fibromyalgia, especially those probiotics. Probiotics are wonderful for dealing with the toxins that form in the blood subsequent to digestive problems. It turns out that most fibromyalgia patients are women, and thus the importance of balancing out estrogen. Using progesterone cream can be helpful for dealing with fibromyalgia, and using vitamin A, which is a wonderful way to help balance out estrogen and help prevent some of the toxicity associated with excess estrogen. Using vitamin A supplements can also be helpful for dealing with fibromyalgia. Same is true for the other fatty vitamins. Vitamin E can be helpful for dealing with fibromyalgia. Vitamin D can be helpful for dealing with fibromyalgia, and the best way to get your vitamin D is from the sun. Making sure that you're processing your fats and absorbing your fats is also a very key strategy for dealing with fibromyalgia. We talked about lecithin in the first half of the program. Lecithin is very important for helping the body process fats. Anything you can do to support liver health. Choline can be helpful for helping the body process fats. Using glutathione building supplements can also be helpful for fibromyalgia. Glutathione is the body's major detoxifying substance. Glutathione is made up of 3 basic amino acids. It's a tripeptide: glutamine, cysteine, and glycine. I think the third one is glycine. I should look that one up, but pretty sure it's glycine. Glutamine and cysteine in any case are the 2 major ones, and I'm pretty sure the third amino acid in glutathione is glycine. You get all that in whey powder. You can use glutamine as a supplement. You can also take N-acetylcysteine, which is a wonderful way to help build your own glutathione. And then sulfur and selenium are 2 very important minerals for helping build glutathione and support glutathione activity. Using MSM sulfur can be helpful for fibromyalgia, around 1,000 milligrams a day, and selenium is pretty much a must-have for any kind of immune or toxicity disorders, around 400 micrograms a day of selenium. Interesting story I saw today about selenium. The FDA is now requiring or suggesting, I guess, requiring actually, that infant formulas have a little bit of selenium in there. Selenium is super important for the immune system. As far as lupus goes, lupus is a classic autoimmune disease. Whenever you have an autoimmune disease, once again, think digestion. Especially those compounds, those molecules that are found in plants that we call lectins, gluten being a classic lectin. Avoiding anything that triggers a digestive response, like digestive discomfort, diarrhea, or bowel movement problems, gas, bloating, that kind of thing, heartburn. Those are things you want to avoid if you have lupus. Vitamin C is very important for helping boost the immune system if you're dealing with any immune disorders. Same with zinc. 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate, around 1,000 to 5,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C. Use this. Everybody with an autoimmune issue, just get on the Beyond Tangy tangerine. It's not going to give you absolutely everything you need, but it's going to give you a lot of stuff, including selenium and vitamin C and the B complex and vitamin A. And it's a nice all-around, well-rounded nutritional supplement. But lupus is an autoimmune disorder. Whenever you have an autoimmune disorder, focus on the digestive system, much like your other friend with the fibromyalgia. Probiotics.
Dr. Wallach, my 16-year-old daughter has been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. What can you do for her? Well, it's actually an easy one. We eliminated fibromyalgia in animals in 1957. And in sheep, it was called stiff lamb disease, and also in sheep and calves and foals, which are baby horses, and chickens and turkeys, and any other animal that was raised for meat. The disease is caused by a deficiency of 3 nutrients, the trace mineral selenium, vitamin E, and the sulfur-bearing amino acid methionine. And there's 2 things you have to do to deal with fibromyalgia. Number 1, eliminate the free radicals and the trans fatty acids that actually initiate damage to the muscle and cause a scarring of the muscle tissue, which is very painful, even normal muscle movement. And you can understand why they call it stiff lamb disease if you have fibromyalgia. First of all, you eliminate fried foods such as fried potatoes, which are, teenagers live on fried potatoes, right? So you have to eliminate fried potatoes, fried chicken, fish, shrimp, fried eggs, tempura, stir fry, anything fried, all margarine, salad dressings with oils in them have to be eliminated. And then again, the pig arthritis formula is perfect because it has optimal amounts of the trace mineral selenium in both the plant-derived colloidal and the chelated form. It has optimal amounts of vitamin E and the sulfur-bearing amino acid methionine. And it just works like a charm very quickly. Within weeks or months, they feel and they can recognize some benefit, and many people will get significant benefit very quickly.